this case, where we have a 100-kilometer lake that is developed in the middle of Pakistan, where from the mountains of Balochistan water is pouring in. From the skies above, we had 2 months of just flood from the skies. And when the Indus the floods of the Indus are descending down, all collecting in the province of Sindh to form that 100-meter lake that is still descending to our province. आप मुझे बताएं कि मैं कितना बड़ा ड्रेन बना दूं, कौन सा ड्रेन खड़ा हो सकता है, कहाँ डैम खड़ा हो सकता है जो 100 किलोमीटर वाइड लेक को रोक सकता है, जो 100 किलोमीटर वाइड लेक को ड्रेन कर सकता है. There is no man-made infrastructure that can evacuate this water. We are relying on gravity, and we're below sea level, and we're relying on what drain can compete with the mighty Indus. What drain can compete with such vast bodies of water? So I understand that in a normal sort of circumstance, aam barishon ke liye, you can talk about sort of the construction of elite housing societies and such things on natural. In this case, it is the disaster of such a scale that there is no drain that can address this issue.
Well, if there is something the United Nations, and me in particular, have been insisting very strongly in the last few years, is of the absolute need of developed countries to fully fulfill their commitments in the Paris Agreement in relation to support to developing countries. And we were behind the campaign that was made for adaptation to be taken seriously, and that led to the promise. Let's see what happens to the promise of $40 billion per year in support for adaptation in developing countries. And we are in the first line of putting in the agenda of the COP loss and damage. So we are really doing everything we can to push those issues in the agenda and put pressure for them to happen. But it's not the United Nations that decides those things. It's member states themselves. And it's the international financial institutions that manage, to a certain extent, if management is the right word to do, the global financial system. And if there is something that I've been saying loud and clear, is that our global financial system is morally bankrupted.
Excellency, it was actually right then it was taken away. Once there is another next point in South Asia, which is issue of Jammu and Kashmir. And whenever you come to this region, Pakistani leadership definitely takes you into confidence over peace and security. So peace and security is directly linked with the unresolved issue of Jammu and Kashmir. And India only listened to United Nations as a mediator. So tell us whether are you ready to mediate to ease relations between India and Pakistan? And connected to this is India is also trying to make entry into United Nations Security Council. So with the worst human rights violation record. So in the days to come, do you think India will be given entry into the UN Security Council, or there are some other plans? What are other plans as far as reforms are concerned? Thank you.
As a matter of fact, if there is something that I've been always offering is my good offices in mediation. But as you know, the Indian side considers that this is a bilateral matter to be solved only by Pakistan and India, and the mediation of the United Nations has not been accepted until now. On the other hand, we have been very active in relation to the clear affirmation that human rights must be respected.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Another appointment. Thank you.
سیکرٹری جنرل اقوام متحدہ انتونیو گوتریس اور وزیر خارجہ بلاول بھٹو زرداری مشترکہ نیوز کانفرنس کر رہے تھے. انتونیو گوتریس نے کہا کہ پاکستان کے ساتھ محبت کا رشتہ ہے. پاکستان کے عوام کو مشکل میں دیکھنا میرے لیے دکھ کا باعث ہے. اس سے پہلے بھی پاکستان کا دورہ کر چکا ہوں. موسمیاتی تبدیلیوں نے پاکستان میں تباہی مچا دی ہے. اس کے علاوہ وزیر خارجہ نے کہا کہ پاکستان کے سیلاب متاثرہ عوام کے لیے سہولیات فراہم کرنا چاہتے ہیں. متاثرہ علاقوں میں اس وقت بیماریاں پھیل رہی ہیں. پاکستان کو اقوام متحدہ سے بہترین